Today is July 23rd, 2024. This is a planning and zoning public hearing as well as a general meeting.
There he is.
There he is.
Fearless leader.
I'll keep going. We're here in room 206 at Town Hall, and the current time is 7:02 p.m. And so I will read in the first item on the agenda, even though it's to be...
Just a correction, it's July 30th.
Oh, sorry, it is July 30th, excuse me.
Sorry.
Sorry, correction, today's July 30th. I'm reading the long line.
You had me convinced.
7:02. So for the public hearing, first item, business site plan application number 24-AF, special permit, flood damage prevention application number 440-A, landfilling and regrading application number 560-A, PL 2461, Tesla Inc. of 25 Old Kings Highway North, Goodwives Shopping Center. This is the proposal to establish a new Tesla electric vehicle charging station consisting of 3 pre-assembled superchargers with a total of 12 charging posts with an associated switchgear and transformer. The chargers are proposed to utilize existing parking stalls located on the northern portion of the property. The 9.49 plus or minus acre subject property is located on the south/east side of Old Kings Highway North, approximately 150 feet southeast of its intersection with Brookside Road, and is shown on Assessor's Map number 71 as Lot 19 in the designated commercial DC zone. We will be opening this and immediately continuing the hearing until September 3rd, 2024.
That's correct, Adam. The application is going to be immediately continued to allow for EPC review and action, which is underway. That application has been submitted to the EPC. It's going to be continued to September 3rd at 7 p.m. in room 206 of Town Hall.
So if anybody's here for that, we come back after the break. I'll read in the second item on the agenda is special permit application number 335, landfilling and regrading application number 573, PL-24-92, Shiv Bashit and Vale Wayman of 25 Greenleaf Avenue. I apologize for the butchering of the names. Proposal to establish a new 75 by 50 pervious artificial turf sports court and to perform related site development activities, including the regrading of the property and installation of landscaping. The 3.62 plus or minus acre subject property is located on the east side of Waterbury Lane, approximately 210 feet north of its intersection with Greenleaf Avenue, and is shown on its Assessor's Map number 28 as Lot 6 in the R1 residential zone. Fred, what do we got?
This one is also going to be immediately continued to September 3rd, 2024 in room 206 of Town Hall at 7 p.m. We received a memo from peer review engineer Joe Canis of Ty and Bond yesterday relative to some stormwater comments and the need for a drainage analysis in connection with the sports court that's proposed. So the applicant's going to be working on addressing those, and they'll come back before us on the 3rd of September.
Okay, also here in room 210?
So anybody who is here for 25 Greenleaf, it's being continued to September 3rd.
Any
Not
green
being
leaves?
heard tonight.
Okay. You want to read the third one? You want me to read it in? We're on Y.
I'm ready to go.
All right.
Cool.
Our chairman will take over for
Thank
the
you.
YMCA.
Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is going to be special permit number 66-M, site plan, coastal site plan review number 234B, flood damage prevention application number 447, PL-24-64, YMCA of Darien at 240 Boston Post Road. The proposal is to replace and expand an existing concrete boat ramp and concrete foundation in and approximate to Holly Pond and perform related site development activities within regulated areas. This 7.02 plus or minus acre subject property is located on the south side of Boston Post Road at the southwestern corner formed by its intersection with Gardner Road, and is shown on Assessor's Map number 53 as Lot 60 in the R1 half residential zone. Fred, what do you got?
This application was submitted in conformance with sections 1000, 1020, 810 and 820 of the Darien zoning regulations under our special permit site plan, coastal site plan review and flood damage prevention regulations. This is an application for an in-kind replacement of the existing boat ramp and dock that currently exists on the YMCA property. The application was referred out to Joe Canis of Ty and Bond. Mr. Canis submitted comments dated July 26th endorsing the project. The application was also before the Environmental Protection Commission. We expect a favorable decision by the EPC on this application the first week in August. The application was also referred out to the Western Connecticut Council of Governments. WestCog submitted comments for the record dated July 1st, in which they state the opinion of WestCog staff is that the proposal is of local interest and with minimal intermunicipal impact. Therefore, it is not being forwarded to adjacent municipalities, and the regional staff is making no comment. The application also was referred out to Connecticut Deep. Deep submitted a memo for the record dated July 24th. The applicant has also secured approvals from Connecticut Deep and the Army Corps of Engineers relative to the proposed improvements. I also emailed out about 15 minutes ago a public comment received from the directly adjoining property to the west with some concerns. So you should all have that, and that is included as part of the record as well. This evening we have Race Engineering. I believe Matthew Schuler is here this evening to present the details of the application and answer any questions that you may have.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Just state your name and affiliation, all that good stuff for the record. You must have gone to UConn.
Oh yeah, I'm a UConn grad. I'm very proud. I'm Matt Schuler with Race Coastal Engineering, an engineer and providing consulting services to Darien YMCA for permitting services for the project. We secured the Deep and Army Corps permits. Last step is obviously local permitting with you guys and EPC. And I guess the description of the project sums it up pretty well. If you guys would like, I can plug in my laptop and pull up project
Could you
plans
do
and
that?
photos. Sure,
That'd be great.
sure thing.
I think most people are very familiar with the YMCA. Most people are not really familiar with the boat ramp or the gangway that goes out
That
there.
was new to me. I'm not sure. See, that was let go on it.
I only know because the kids' summer camp. That's the kids out on the boats.
Yeah, and Beverly
Yeah.
used to teach stand-up paddleboarding.
You'd have to give me 1 second, I just need to grab the cable for it.
Sure.
Oh, all right.
We got
Saves me actually. My computer's still loading up, so.
Okay, why don't you explain the project before the technology catches up to us?
Sure, sure.
So it's two pieces to it. One's the boat ramp, right?
That's right.
And then the other one's the gangway. So why don't we start with the boat ramp first?
Okay, the boat ramp currently existing is in disrepair. Some chunks of it have broken off the end and are scattered in the area there. So obviously, as part of this project, we're gonna go in, restore the boat ramp back to its previously existing limits, clean up all the concrete debris. We're gonna do improvements to the design of the boat ramp, including haunches for tow protection and erosion control, as well as lay a gravel base to help with drainage, and implement some control joints in case there is any settlement. The boat ramp can articulate slightly to compensate for the erosion.
So now the boat ramp looks like the front tip of it got broken off and floated away.
It didn't float away very far, but
Yeah.
it is currently damaged. So I believe that is what initiated our services being contracted to apply for the permit to replace it.
So do you know the existing length of it today, where it starts and where it ends to be broken off, and then how much further it's going to go in the water?
Sure. The existing boat ramp is about 38 feet long where it's broken off. We have the historical permit for the 46-foot long original condition of the boat ramp.
Okay.
This proposal is proposing to restore the boat ramp to its previously existing condition and historically permitted condition, 46 feet long. So I hope that answers your question for
Yeah.
you.
That's
So
it.
you'd be making it a little bit longer than its current condition, right?
Right.
Then it's damaged condition, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Has the design of boat ramps changed since this one was put in over many years ago?
I can't speak to when exactly this boat ramp was put in. However, from my field investigations, it didn't look like it's a reinforced concrete slab. We're replacing it with a fully reinforced concrete slab, again with haunches to kind of secure it into the earth. The existing one just looks like a flat slab on grade.
Okay. Do you have a picture what the new one's going to look like at all?
I do not, but it'll look approximately the same. It'll be concrete construction.
Okay.
It's broken up into 3 equal-sized pieces with the control joints. Again, that's just for if there is any settlement, the ramp can compensate for that.
And you said it has one other piece to it, has launch control? What's that mean? Is that what you
I'm
said?
sorry, tow protection, erosion control. It has haunches on the edge of it, so the
Oh, haunches.
yeah, the edges of the concrete are kind of enveloping the earth beneath it, so it's kind of grabbing on both sides.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Why don't you pull that up, and then we'll see if the commissioners have any questions on that.
Maybe a quick question,
Go right ahead.
Fred or you, Mr. Chairman. The fact that this is in Holly Pond, does that change the extent of our jurisdiction over this ramp beyond the property itself?
Because the property has frontage on Holly Pond, that's the reason it needs to go before the Environmental Protection Commission. And we expect a decision from them, like I said, the first week in April. From what we understand of the situation, approximately 70% of the boat ramp is below the coastal jurisdiction line, which is outside the jurisdiction of the town and the Planning and Zoning Commission. And that's why the Connecticut Deep and Army Corps of Engineer approvals are necessary.
Okay.
So the commission's jurisdiction is really the top 30% of the boat ramp and the section of the dock that connects to the land.
Which is the other piece. I mean, it's
Correct.
kind of weird that, I believe what Fred said, but it's kind of weird that, the ramp's gonna be 46 feet long, and we're only responsible for 18 feet.
All right, a lot.
So, and although our EPC approvals, we're awaiting those in August, you said, the Connecticut Deep and Army Corps, those approvals are secured already?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I
That's
ask
right.
one question about that? The plan stated February and then June, when the February plans were originally sent to Army Corps, was that updated with them like it was with DEP?
Yes,
Yeah,
but all correspondence within the local, obviously, permitting has been forwarded to DEEP and Army Corps, so
Okay.
that they're involved enough to
Thank you.
speed.
Okay, do you have a picture of the ramp you wanna show us?
Sure, so this
Yes,
is the
sir.
existing condition of the ramp, broken off. You see there's no reinforcement that's visible at least. This picture looking down the ramp towards Holly Pond. This is the end of the ramp, some significant cracking and damage, obviously. This is more a picture of the wetland area adjacent to the ramp. Some of the concrete debris that I was talking about. And then, again, on the other side of the ramp, more wetland, revetment. And you can see the change in grade here.
So is that poured in place, or is that dropped in?
I couldn't speak to how it was originally constructed.
No,
It
no,
looks
the
like
new one, the new
the
one.
new one's gonna be cast in place. That's right.
So I call it poured in place,
Yes.
so it's the same thing?
Yeah, poured in place.
Okay, got it. You good? Any questions about the ramp? It's pretty straightforward. It
Yep.
broke off at the end, it's gonna go
Swapping it out.
8
Can-
more feet in. 'cause
Can you,
it's-
since it's been in disrepair for such a long period of time, I imagine that is why the YMCA has not done anything with it, any programming on it. What do they intend to do with it? What kind of boats will they be launching from that?
It's
Because the pond is obviously very limited in its depth.
right. It's my understanding that the YMCA runs youth and recreational programs, including a sailing school. Usually you have Hobie Cats, laser-type vessels, the kayaks, canoes. So they're all obviously moved around by hand on push carts at the very most. There's no vehicle access to the boat ramp or anything like that. Obviously no large draft vessels or anything like that.
Yeah, we were out there today. They have 3 Hobie Cats,
Yep,
and they use the ramp to go up and down the Hobie
Okay.
Cats. And if you ever sail the Hobie Cats, it's got those 2 big
Yep, yep.
wheels tied on, roll
Yep.
it down.
and the storage of those boats will be where?
In-
Not in the water?
At night, they put them over by the gangway, which is gonna get into out of the water, and they drop them in the morning.
Over the gangway, the walking gangway?
Yep, in the
Yep.
winter, they go behind the shed.
Okay,
They said, she said they take them out every night, right?
That was my
Yeah,
understanding.
they don't let them,
Yeah.
yeah, they don't leave them in the water overnight. I think there was 2 there today. There might have been a third, but there was 2. But it's really just for the Hobie Cats.
Got it.
Everything else you can do.
okay.
Any other questions of the ramp? Good? Okay. Next. Next is the gangway. That's where,
Again, this should be pretty straightforward. We weren't even out here to inspect this originally, but we noticed, looking at how the gangway is connected to the concrete, there's some erosion, or corrosion, I should say. Some spalling of the concrete. It's cracked in a few places. There's an exposed bolt here. So really what we're proposing to do, if I can get to these plans here, is just, we're going for a replacement, where we'll be digging down below frost depth, again, founding it on a gravel layer base for drainage, and then building a reinforced concrete abutment, essentially, for the gangway to connect to. We're raising it a foot just so the gangway connection maintains the same elevation. And then there's a step down from this last stair, so this should, I don't think it levels it out, it's still a couple inches off, but it'll be less of a step down from existing conditions. But again, replacement in kind, in place. We're not expanding the footprint, just going for repair replacement.
so I'm looking at drawing 9 of 9. That's basically the old one up top and the new one's underneath it.
This,
It's drawing.
oh,
it's-
I'm sorry, you have the June plans, don't you?
I've got the February plans.
Or February, right.
The June is attached to the neighbors, the letter to the neighbors. It's the only place that was attached to that.
Right,
page.
we had updated the plans for the EPC commission,
Okay.
and that's the set of plans that I have today. 9 should look similar to this.
Yep,
Um,
it does.
Yep.
So it's just, mine goes landscape, that's portrait.
Right.
So we do these all the time. This is we have the 3-foot jurisdiction or 4-foot jurisdiction up top. Everything else is in the water. And the only thing they're replacing is there. There's no controls of it. There's no, what do you call them? The posts in the water, right? To keep it going from left and right?
Piles?
Yeah, there's no piles. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, not that
There's none in the water now.
I'm aware of,
Yeah.
at the very least.
I didn't see them, Officer, either. Okay. Any questions on the gateway, guys? We're good?
Any lighting gonna be added?
No lighting is proposed.
Nope. Anything else, Fred? Okay. well,
Just anything from members of the public?
Yep, I'll open up the vote. Would anybody like to speak to this application? Please come forward, and you can speak at the microphone. Why don't you shift aside so that what we can
Okay.
get in?
The new plans are in the record. I'm
The new
looking at
plans are,
them. They're uploaded to the site, they're in the record.
Matt, did we make sure that the new plans are uploaded to OpenGov?
They should, I'll check right now and make
They're,
sure
they're in there, I'm looking at.
Yeah.
The
Aren't
ones-
they attached to the neighbor?
No, it's in the OpenGov, it's just got a weird title, it's, 23-15-1, Darien YMCA permit set revision, it's kinda towards the bottom, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one up from the bottom. But you can see the plans are dated, 6/21, those are the newest ones, 6/21, right?
6/21, that's right.
Yeah, and they have more slides than 9, so yours ended.
2023,
Yeah, just look at this.
151.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
please, welcome. Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Judy Shen. I'm at 10 Weeds Landing and the immediate neighbor on the west side of Y.
Okay,
And we, my family, my 2 kids, and myself and my husband, living there since 2007.
fantastic.
Okay.
Welcome.
All right, thank you. So, thank you very much for the letter. Okay, that was very informative, giving me some information. We reviewed it, and I actually communicate to our neighborhood as well. So I had the questions, concerns, some of them may be addressing for other, of my neighbors as well, representing them. And unfortunately, they're not able to join, because of COVID, the people are concerned, So, the question I have that mainly is more of them are questions versus, hey, bigger concern. There is concerns, but, hopefully, and you guys have the answer, or if not, then you can come back to me, that's fine, okay? So the two main questions. One is the concrete boat ramp. So it has been, deteriorated. I noticed that, to be honest, that area has been abandoned. No attention was given to that area, and then very rarely been used. Obviously, in the summertime, they would park a boat sometimes, a broken boat parked there, okay? Because they do have the dedicated, the other dock used for the sailing camp, right? So oftentimes they park the boat there, and it's really disturbing. So I would actually call Jennifer or their aquatic, director, and then they would move it. So I was telling her, I said, maybe in the future, I do not have to remind you. The person who used to be the Jim, I forgot his last name, he was very considerate. He knew that he would not park there.
Jim Matthews.
Yes,
Redhead
Jim Matthews.
guy? Yeah,
Yes,
he's a good guy.
and I think he left or retired, I don't know.
Yeah,
when.
retired.
So, and so now, new people coming in, they did not know, and they would just park there. And a few days, I kind of let them park, and I said, okay, how long are you going to park there? They said, oh, it's broken. We need to wait for repair.
When you say park what? Park a boat or
Yeah.
park a car?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, they put the boat right on the ramp and let it sit there for a week, like recently. And
Okay.
in fact, this morning, they just removed it to to the back spot into the area behind the tree, Because my house, I don't have a picture of that, but if you look at the map, it's really looking more towards the Y side. It's not like straight, right at the pond.
Yep.
So anything they plant, anything they install, and it directly impact us. Okay, so when we bought the house 14 years ago, and obviously I did not know the history, and now the previous owner told us that this ramp, I had a question about this, they said it's not really used because they were restricted and because of privacy of the neighbors.
Is there a deeded view easement on your recorded land records for your property?
I'm sorry.
Is there a view easement that gives you rights to view unobstructed over their land?
I actually don't know about that.
Okay.
I would like to know, right?
Land records down on the first floor.
Land
They
records?
could help you out to figure that
Okay,
out.
okay,
Yep.
I'll definitely, thank you for
Yep.
educating me on that. So they said we're basically not gonna be used, and that's why it's really going back, because they're never maintaining it, right? It was not supposed to be used. And it's so adjacent to our, neighbor, not just mine, and the next door as well. their
Go, I've been
house.
out there. I saw the fence.
Yeah, you
I
saw
saw
that,
yours.
right? So once a while, like I said, the only use I have seen in 14 years is they use to put a boat that they need to repair, broken, whatever it is. And it's not very rare. I wouldn't say that's frequent. So I consider that. And then the area, if you're coming now, they cleaned it up. But if you come like in mid of, May or June, it's covered with debris from the water blown up, throwing up and the dead sea animals. It's just disgusting, that area. And then, all outgrown, wild, bushes. So my family, I took my kids, both our boys are Boy Scout. So they know the community service. That's our community service. We go there and I'll clean them every year. And the Y knows that because they come here. And then they're on the right-hand side of, if you're facing the house, facing the Y, right-hand side, there's a little hill, and they outgrow all those wild bushes so high up, and I have to call them to cut it down because I don't have the tool for that, right? So,
The application that we're looking at is the boat ramp and the gangway. So if you can keep your,
focus on that.
understand you're telling the whole story.
I'm not too worried about gateway, so I'm really more focused on this one.
Okay.
And
So
so
the boat ramp broke off
yeah, so I'm concerned
8
about.
feet, so you're gonna fix it. Now you have the money
Yeah,
to
but
fix
they're not
it.
they're gonna extend it. My understanding, if I'm reading the gentleman who presented before, extending towards the outside, because there was no reinforcement, right? Not towards more inside. That's my understanding.
It's
Just be
going
clear.
close, it's going back towards the water.
Yes, that's,
The
okay.
top part's not gonna
Yeah.
move.
Okay, so the question that I have is, what are they gonna use that for? If they haven't
For the
been used for
boats.
14 years, and they were restricted, again, I have been at the planning and zoning multiple times. I trying to do research to find the original documentations, and with the help of the staff, I've not been able to locate anything. And Fred, you probably heard about that. I was there this morning as well, And I work full-time, it's really difficult taking my time to come in. But anyway, so I was not able to find the original documentation. And so I go with my previous owner was telling me, hey, they are not supposed to do anything with use this ramp for summer camp, because the sailing camp is pretty loud, right? And this exists before I moved into the house, grandfathered, and I haven't really brought out anything, complain anything, but they blowing the horn, they do a lot I have to move my 90-year-old mother-in-law out of the house because she couldn't rest. It's just so loud between that and the playground, I know that's outside.
It sounds like you have operational questions.
Yeah,
We're just kind of focused on there. Anybody that lives on Holly Pond or anybody that lives in the
Yeah.
water in Darien
Yeah.
is basically allowed to put a ramp into the water.
mm-hmm,
You can put a ramp in your house. You want to have a boat? You come on in, we'll give you a boat ramp. You have to go through the process. Anybody can do it.
right.
So because they're doing it, fixing it now, it's
Mm-hmm.
my understanding now they have the money to do it.
They
Whereas
always have
they
the
didn't have the
money.
money before.
They
So
always
if they
have
want
the
to do
money.
it now, they're
Yeah,
allowed
yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, so my question is that gonna increase their, their sailing camp, the size
I
of
imagine
that?
so.
So I
imagine.
think there is a limitation for that. There's a 10 boats limitation based on what my research was, okay?
I will say that there is no proposed change to the programming
Thank you.
or membership
Mhm.
in connection with this. This is simply an application to replace the boat ramp in kind with what was the footprint that was originally approved.
Understood. Thank you for clarifying that, because that was my question, right? If that has implication, it's gonna impact our life significantly. The whole summer, it's basically, I can't do anything outdoor because that, So that was my major question. If they are not planning to do anything, I understand that they have the money now, they're gonna replacing it before they didn't do it. They really didn't care about that place. I didn't even know that belonged to them originally. I thought it was in town, the town property there, by the coastline. It's really hard to say because I'm not supposed to pulling out the plants there. I was told not to, because,
That's regulated wetlands.
Yeah.
You're really not supposed to be doing that. Your
I-
son might get arrested next year if he doesn't.
No, I'm just helping clean up the ramp
Yeah,
with
I-
all the,
yeah.
garbage is blowing up. We're not pulling things for them, that's what I was just
Cutting
trying.
down.
But I
cutting
didn't
down
see
stuff
them,
in
they care
wetlands.
about that much. I was like, my question is why they wanted to, they don't want to maintain it, and now all of a sudden they want to fix it. Now they're going to use it for all the sailing camps, and that's going to be concerning for me and my neighbor too. Okay, so that's that. The second is, I'm going to focus on the plants first, which is, I sent you guys an email on. The plant is, like I mentioned earlier, on the hill, right, the wetland side is like all-grown wild plants. Is that the same area they are going to do the planting for the new plants?
It's the answer is yes, we're gonna do it, and those plantings get regulated by EPC.
Okay,
If EPC tells them to put in, native plants to the area and wants them to grow, then that's what the rule is.
okay,
We focus on the bricks and sticks or the concrete.
okay. So my concern is about that plant, because like I mentioned, right, the wild one could grow 6 to 7, 8 feet tall, and it really bothers me because it's right in front of me. So I actually work with them, the landscaping guy, get them cut down every year. And I just wanted to make sure that, I had a question out there, hopefully they can consider the height, the end height of the plant, not the time you plant it, but how tall they're gonna grow into. I don't want them to plant a huge tree up there, you know what I mean? I understand that's their property, but I just.
I would recommend also looking at when the EPC hearing
Right.
is, so you can also. voice
Absolutely.
those particular
Yes.
concerns
Yeah.
at that meeting?
I would do that because I did not know, I put it in my question, you know. Because that has been happening, because every year is thing I have to, Jennifer, when are you gonna cut that, you know? Do you need
She
help?
might not be allowed to cut it.
Huh?
She might not be allowed to
No,
cut
they
it.
do that every year.
Yeah, well,
every
they might
year.
not be allowed to.
That I don't know. Now, the other question, I know I'm supposed to focus on this, since I have you guys, and I brought it up. And I talked to Joanne this morning as well, brought to her attention, and they put a shed. The shed wasn't
who's
there
Joanne?
before.
Who's
Joanne
Joanne?
is the staff
She's
head.
our
Oh,
secretary.
okay.
Yeah, so she wasn't able to find a permit for that. I understand there is square footage requirements in order for you to require, you know, a permit, but that shed wasn't there. And we were not told they're gonna put there, and it's really visible. And I think there's rules from planning and zoning tell them they cannot store the boat to be visible to the neighbors. From my research, I noticed that. And so that shed is just right in front of me. It's right in front of me, you know, every day. And then the worst thing is, the last couple of years ago, we had a major windstorm. It completely destroyed and blowed all the pieces onto my yard. I ended up had to clean it, you know. So I just hoping that they can move this to somewhere. They had it before, probably, I don't know. Move to somewhere not visible to us. I
But-
do not want to collect it there, you know,
Yeah, my
broken
understanding is
pieces.
that the old shed was plastic and that it got damaged in a storm and they replaced the old shed with a new shed
Mhm.
that's more sturdy. And
Yeah.
we can check on that. Is there a gentleman here from the YMCA? I want to ask you to come up in a second, but if they're doing work out there, we can check on the shed at the same time, which is totally outside this application. And
Thank
see
you, yes,
if it's
thank you, I
okay.
appreciate, I know, I understand that, I appreciate, you know, let me speak here.
There's, I mean, you're allowed to put it in the shed. There's probably a permit in the file when the shed was originally put in, but we can just check it to make sure it's in the right spot.
Yeah, okay, okay. I
All
think
right.
that's it, and I really appreciate your letting me to speak here, and hopefully that my questions, you know, gets, you know, raised and answered, you know. Main concern is the sailing camp, you know, hopefully they
Yeah,
don't do
the
anything
there's
dramatic.
no changing to any of the programming. If not,
Yeah.
if the camp was approved for argument's sake, 25 sailors or 25 campers, and they've only had 10,
Yeah.
they're still allowed to get up to 25, whatever the number is. I don't know what the
I
number
think
is.
10, it was 10, I researched it was a 10, so, yeah.
Okay, and then with regards to, what was the other item? Do you have the date of the EPC hearing? You just emailed
Not the
Judy?
EPC hearing, I believe that they're gonna decide on the matter on the 7th of August.
Oh, so it's closed, their hearing?
Their hearing is closed, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you can go to the meeting on the 7th and observe of what they're approving. We don't have that information at my.
Where is that meeting?
August 7th.
Yeah,
It's gonna
where?
be, it's in
Seventh,
front
I
right here.
believe it'll be in this room.
Oh, in
But
here?
Yeah.
If you give me a call tomorrow, I can confirm that for you.
Okay.
And
And
why
then,
don't you go to the planting plans if it's.
do you know what time? Like evening or during the
It
day?
is in the evening, yes.
Okay, so usually it's around 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make a note for myself, but I will send you a note, maybe email or something, is that
Sure,
okay?
that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I just ask you a couple questions? Fred and I went out to the site today and spoke to the CEO, whose name is Jennifer.
Yes.
Right, so when, just,
Name.
just say your name for the record.
Douglas Ferry.
And you work at the YMCA, right?
I'm an outside contractor for facilities for them.
And you run all the facilities there?
Yes, I do.
There you go.
You see me
Um,
smiling?
When they're out there doing whatever they're doing with their backhoes and they're, working on the project, can
Yep.
you just check the shed and see if it's in the right spot? And
Absolutely. It was brought to our attention that the shed does not meet the setbacks or whatever it is. So we're already starting the process of finding out where we can put it and get the permits cleared up and all that, because I inherited this position years ago. And Jennifer, 6 years ago, no one had any clue of any history to that shed. But now that we do know, we will comply as we need to.
Okay,
There'll be no problem with that.
yeah, so if it's gotta be moved or permitted.
Wherever it's gotta go, yep, we'll find a place.
You got it. And then the woman is correct. I had a boat in my side yard that's visible from the street.
Yep,
It can't be visible from the street. It can be visible to your neighbor's property, but just check on that.
I will do that, yes.
Because it's, if you put a boat in the way back of the property and your neighbor's way back of the property, you can still see the boat,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not allowed to see it from the street. That's all.
Would it be possible for for when we do deliberate on this application, that we are familiar with the procedures that they have with regards to running the camp.
We can just, we can grab,
Oh,
That'd be great.
yeah.
there's a
Okay.
programming piece
Yeah,
that goes
the
through.
programming piece, I'd like to see that.
I think it's part of special permit number M.
Okay.
It's, because they didn't change the number, right, Fred? It's still, they didn't go from, to the next letter, did they? It's still-
No, this is, the application number remains the same, and.
The special
it's
permit number is what I'm
The
talking
special permit number, and this is simply an amendment to that.
Fantastic.
So we
Okay.
don't need to keep it open for that documentation.
No.
Right, it's already there.
It's already there, it's already in the file. Okay, we're good.
Okay,
Thank you. Any other questions, anybody? No? Okay, we're all set, Fred?
Yep.
Motion to close? Amy makes the motion.
Yep.
I think George made the second. All in favor?
Yes,
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Really noodled it out of George there.
We'll decide on this in the next meeting in August, and then you'll be fine. Thanks, guys.
September.
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 It'll be in September.
Steve will be the only one in here deliberating with himself.
Fancy with my tail. Next item on the agenda, coastal site plan review number 233B, fudge damage prevention application number 261B, PL 24-87, Justin and Lindsay Vinci at 10 Nickerson Lane. Proposal to construct and install a dock consisting of a fixed ramp, pier, and platform, and perform related site development activities within regulated areas. The 0.98 plus or minus acre subject property is located on the south side of Nickerson Lane, approximately 620 feet west of its intersection with Nearwater Lane, and is shown on Assessor's Map number 52 as lot number 8 in the R1 zone. Fred, what do we got?
This application is going to be immediately continued to September 10th of this year in room 206 of Darien Town Hall at 7 p.m. This is also in the process of being reviewed by the Environmental Protection Commission, and
Is this also on Holly Pond?
this is on Holly Pond, yes.
That's
Yep.
another new dock on Holly Pond.
That's correct.
Busy night for EPC.
So September 10th at 7 p.m. in room 206 of Town Hall.
Okay, that's the conclusion of tonight's public hearing, so now we're gonna go into the general meeting. The first item on the general meeting agenda is amendment to the site plan application number 306, special permit, the Mather Homestead Foundation, Inc., at 19 Stephen Mather Road. Request to modify the special permit for a one-time, single-day basis to permit 400 plus attendees, food sales, and a modified parking plan for the Fall Festival in October 2024. In our documentation, we got some emails and whatnot from the chief of police, representing the legal traffic authorities discussing this. Is someone gonna present this? Fantastic. Do we have to do this one every year?
I believe this is the sixth time the
I was just doing that, I think it's the
Homestead.
sixth time. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm Heather Raker, Executive Director
Welcome.
of the Mather Homestead Foundation.
Welcome. You're the lady with the big voice at the events.
A big voice?
Yeah, you're fun.
Oh, gee, thanks. Okay, yeah.
Go ahead. So what are we doing? The same thing?
Same thing, same exact thing as all the other years. Maybe a few changes in vendors, a few changes in the pets at the petting zoo, but otherwise, the same thing.
But now, why is it a modification?
I would just say that this is a special exception to the commission's 2017 and 2022 approvals for the site, which allows a maximum of 150 visitors or attendees on the site at any one time. The Mather Homestead plans on holding this festival on October 26th this fall. They're holding the event from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. from what we understand, and they've requested that during this 3-hour period, they be allowed to host up to 400 individuals as a one-time exception to the commission's previous approvals.
But it's basically a rolling time, right?
It
I
is.
get there at 11 and leave at 12, and somebody else gets there at 12
Yes,
and leaves at 1.
that's very true, yes,
Right.
yes. So
Okay.
we've never had a problem with too many cars or too many people on property.
It's not like Amy's daughter's wedding gonna be there, you're gonna have 400 people at one
Nope,
shot.
definitely not going to be there. Nope.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Sorry about that.
I believe Heather has coordinated with Chief Marion of the police department relative to hiring
Yep, police
an
officer.
off-duty police officer
Mhm.
to direct traffic and assist with parking during the event as well.
Okay, so they do, I mean, I read this a couple of times, they do have to have, I will arrange for an extra duty officer.
Yep, so we've called about that.
You having one police officer?
We always have one, and just given the expense of a police officer for a nonprofit, we have other volunteers on site helping, but we usually just have one police person.
Okay, because it says I'll arrange for the extra duty officer.
Yeah.
All right, so that's one.
Do you still have
and-
an officer living there?
We do, but he never performs that duty.
Okay, any questions?
Security on site if we need it.
Yeah.
John Sweeney, will he be there directing traffic with his
I
yellow badge?
will make sure
Tell
that
him
he's
it's
there.
required.
Yeah.
Any questions? Are we ready to vote on this?
I would just highlight the stipulation the chief asked, which is that the parking has to be on the property.
Yes, absolutely. Never on the road. We
Thank
put
you.
no parking signs, all along the perimeter.
Yeah. Our next police commission meeting is 25th. I will advise the legal traffic authority that provided all traffic and activities take place on the property itself, that I support the event taking place in accordance with your proposed plan. That's it, okay? Can I get a motion to approve this? Amy makes the motion. Adam makes the second. 6-0. Yep, you're all approved.
Thank you very much.
Have fun.
Appreciate it.
Hopefully we see, that's my mother's birthday, by the way.
Oh, wow. Send her over.
She's 6 feet under right now.
It's not her birthday.
Well, sure it is.
Not gonna be a lot of cake.
Next item on the agenda, amendment to business plan, site plan application number 295, special permit application number 294, land filling and grading application number 401, 246 Heights LLC, Heights Crossing at 340, did I say 246? 346. 346, 310, and 264 Heights Road. Request to establish outdoor tables and seating within the public plaza areas to be shared among the general public and two full-service restaurants that open out into the public plaza for table service. Fred, what do we got? This is the project that's under construction, and it's the biggest, widest public plaza area, I think, where the water fountain is. That's to the, I'm gonna call it to the east, closest to Federal, that they wanna put tables and chairs, I guess, on one of the levels. You wanna explain it?
Yeah, that's correct, Steve. It's the applicant Heights Crossing, the Ficaros are interested in amending the commission's previous 2022 amended approval for the site, which would allow for, I believe, 12 tables and associated seating on each side of the public plaza area.
That's what they're asking for.
Yes, that's what they're asking for, to be shared amongst the two restaurants that face the plaza area, as well as to be used by the general public. So these would be the use of the table, the use of the tables for the restaurant uses would be non-exclusive.
So it's different than Molto and different than 1020 and different than Seymour's and whatnot.
Seymour, they got
Yep.
seating right there.
Great.
Yeah, that's correct. So the proposed tables would be placed on the public plaza area. The public plaza area was, of course, created during the original approval to allow for incentives within the development, including third floors of the proposed buildings and additional units. And as a part of that original approval, the applicant is required to file a deed restriction in favor of the town.
In an easement.
Correct,
Yeah,
in an
deed
easement, in favor of the town. So any any other future changes to the commission would need to be reviewed by the town and the Board of Selectmen. But the applicant is proposing to put their own tables and chairs. These would not be tables purchased by any of the businesses or restaurants on the site. The property owner would purchase the tables and chairs, and they would be available, like I said, to the general public as well as to the two restaurants that would face the plaza.
So I see Phil Sarone's here, right? Why don't you show us the plan if you have something, since I think you brought some pretty stuff.
I'm happy to do that.
Fantastic.
For the record, my name is Philip Cerrone. I'm an architect. My office is in Fairfield, Connecticut at 421 Meadow Street.
Can everybody see that?
Yep,
Okay.
Come closer.
yep, and we have it on there.
And I mean, so just to kind of orient you, actually, this is the overall site plan, right? So here's Heights Road, here's Hollow Tree. These are the buildings that are all in construction. Palmer's Market is down there. And starting from the corner, the first building's here, the plaza's in between these two buildings right here. So this is the plaza area that we're talking about. So this is a blow-up of that area. So again, you come from the street, you come up these steps in the middle here. The red dotted line kind of shows the pedestrian path if you were coming from the street, or the parking lot. Most all the parking is back here, although there is some parking on the street. The parking garage and the on-street parking back here, and you would walk through, basically through here. This is the fountain in the middle, and then as you can see, we have tables here, tables on this side, landscape areas here, as well as over here. The landscaped areas and the paved areas are essentially the same as what was on the original approval. And from an accessibility point of view, this is all flush pavement through here. There is steps obviously on this end, but from where the handicap parking is over here, you have easy access to all of this space. So again, tables on this side, tables on that side, and then the landscaped areas here, and then the center plaza in the middle.
Are there different elevations for the two seating spots relative to the planters?
This is.
Is that lower?
From here to here?
Yeah.
Within inches.
Oh, okay, I thought it was.
This is a slight slope down about 6 inches from here to here,
Okay,
but it's pretty flat.
and same on the other side?
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
So all you want to do is put tables and chairs on
The
in
two
front of
sides,
both, on two
closer
sides,
to the building,
and nothing
right.
in the middle?
Right, no, correct, nothing, no tables and chairs in the middle section.
No, I saw you had pictures or,
Well, this is, I have this is the rendering that we used, that was from the original approval.
okay,
So this doesn't show the tables and chairs on it, but this is what was previously approved. You can see where the steps are on the plaza in the middle there, so
okay.
it's not, nothing's gonna really change too much on there.
So as of right, they're allowed to have 16 seats in front of any restaurant they want, which is 4, right? And now we're asking for 12 tables,
Right.
which is plenty of space.
The original approval limits outdoor seating for any one restaurant to a maximum of 16 seats.
But that's a town regulation, right?
Well, it's
Because it's also because of parking.
correct. If you want to exceed the 16 seats, then you have to demonstrate that you have the parking to accommodate those additional seats.
Right, okay. And then the state statute overrides most of this stuff anyway, where you're allowed to have outdoor seating everywhere.
There is a relatively new state statute that allows outdoor dining as of right in connection with restaurant uses. That was passed in the state legislature, I believe, 2 years ago. And as long as permission is granted by the property owner to provide those outdoor seats, it is a use permitted as of right, essentially.
Okay. Any questions?
So how much of the public plaza was used to get the additional amenities in the project?
That whole section is
That whole
public.
section,
Yeah.
every square foot of it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the state statute allows public plazas like this to be used, right? Because I think when we saw the steakhouse application,
That's
it
exclusive.
wasn't all public plaza. They used the sidewalks and other areas for dining. But
That's
but
exclusive
that was
dining.
exclusive dining, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm just trying to be clear on the
So to the,
distinction there.
so to
Right,
the.
right now, hold on right now at Grove Street Plaza, if you go there today,
Yeah.
all those tables and chairs are right on the public plaza,
Yeah.
and it's all non-exclusive seating. That's the way it is exactly today.
Okay.
Anybody can sit there, you can eat an Uncle's Deli sandwich there, you can eat ice cream cone there, you can eat whatever you want there.
Right, but if you want to make those exclusive to your restaurant, then.
It's a whole different kettle of fish.
Okay. And
Right.
so this is all non-exclusive and. we'll
Correct.
use that way.
John DeParo, who's the principal of the trust.
Hold on one second, John. Do you have any questions?
No, that was what I wanted to do, to clarify that anyone could
Yeah.
use
Yep.
the space. Yeah.
Do we want to set time of year hours on these? Are they gonna be brought inside, or are they gonna be like Grove Street where they're just kind of out there,
I mean, right now, the concept is the same as Grove Street.
out there the
Yeah.
whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, those things there's cool pictures of those with snow on them in the winter. Hold on.
I'm okay.
Just to the extent that you have a leasing applicant that wants exclusive right, that would need to come back, very similar to
Yeah.
what happened at Grove Street, to say, yeah, now you're giving up, you need the selectmen to approve that you're giving up, 20% of those tables to this person and 20% to that
But
person.
I don't know who was on the commission at the time, but when Federal came in,
Yep,
two of Federal's tenants wanted exclusive rights in front of their thing. So we had to rejigger
yep,
the 10,000 square feet of public plaza. And now I think if you look the
Carve
side,
out,
the
yeah.
because the public plaza is fungible.
mm-hmm,
It's X number of square feet. So in Federal, the public plaza was at one spot. We moved it as a sidewalk that's 3 feet out where the dog park is.
mm-hmm,
So we took, 300 square feet here and made a new 10 by
Mhm.
3 foot wide sidewalk as a public plaza. So they just moved it. That's not what he's asking for here at this time.
yep, okay.
It's totally different.
And all the accessibility on the doorways that are coming into these two buildings, you have full, I'd like to hear
100%, it'll
full.
be 100% Connecticut code.
It all
accessibility,
meets in
and
Connecticut code for ADA.
It's
Okay.
are they mostly sliding doors?
The doors that are going into the building, those are hinge doors.
So the restaurants look out on the public plaza, those are hinge doors? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Bifold doors?
No, they're basically just pairs of doors.
Okay.
Several pairs of doors
Fantastic.
across the-
Mr. Vaccaro here would like to speak. Please, just state your name. The microphone's behind Phil. Just state your name for the record. That's
The
all.
reason we got the density isn't 100% due to the plaza.
Sorry, I just need a name for the record.
John Vaccaro, property owner. The reason we got the density isn't just because of the plaza.
There's a whole bunch of
It's
reasons.
because of the affordable housing component, which is 15%, when at the time it was a 12% threshold, we ended up at 15% because of the various calculations.
Yep. Okay. So the only thing that needs, eventually you're gonna file an easement document that's being done by Maslin?
Yes.
So that comes eventually when it's ready, and that's not required to be done until the TCO is granted?
Correct, that's a condition before the COs are issued for the property.
Fantastic. Any other questions?
When's it gonna be done?
You're on TV, so if you say it's gonna be done by Christmas, you
Question
better.
of public interest.
We're very supportive of having it done quickly, okay? But our attorney happens to be very busy. So-
All right. No, they meant the construction.
Construction.
No, they meant,
Oh, the construction.
we're gonna be open by Christmas.
We're handing out the space to Goddard to start their construction literally this week.
None of us are gonna be attending Goddard.
And so the retailers will hand off their space for their build-outs by the end of the year. Hopefully, maybe a little bit before that, but the apartments will be ready until probably July next year.
Is the apartments open for the retailers or retail open? for
Retail
apartments?
opens before the
Oh,
apartments.
that's
The
cool.
apartment construction is a lot more intense.
All right, because none of us will probably live in those apartments either. I might.
You never know.
You never
Never know.
Okay, we're ready to vote?
Yep.
Can I get a motion to approve? Adam makes a motion,
I'll second.
Mike makes a second, all in favor?
Yep.
You're done.
Thank you very much.
Cool, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Get us another, what do you want, a steakhouse? You want a burger joint?
Burger joint?
I want a
can do
burger
another- I can
joint.
do another steakhouse.
Another steakhouse.
Zero now.
We need Benny's back.
Benny's? Cool. All right, next. Oh, Benny's the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Benny Bar and
I was
Burger.
thinking of like Benny's the restaurant. That is the general meeting is over. Now we're going to go on to deliberation and possible decision on the following 6 applications. The first one on the agenda is coastal site plan review number 185 Bees and Boy, flood damage prevention application number 197B, landfilling and regrading application number 105B, PL 24-80, Stephen and Tracy, I don't know how you pronounce that one, Colton at 21 Tokenie Trail. Proposal to raise the existing residence, construct a new single-family dwelling in generally the same location, construct new driveways, patio areas, a pool, and retaining wall, and perform related site development activities within the regulated areas, including regrading of the property and installation of stormwater management and a new septic system. The public hearing closed on June 25th, 2024, my sister's birthday, and the decision deadline is August 28th, 2024. In our packets, we should have got a draft of the resolution, which is in my old-fashioned packets over here. Any questions, comments, typos, scrivener's errors on this one, from what it's drafted at this point? This was one of the houses that was next to Mr. Mabel's house, which he was doing the driveway.
Yeah. House adjacent to the driveway.
Yeah, house adjacent to the driveway. I don't remember anything super controversial about this one. We didn't get any neighbors on this one. Did the Tokenie Association, was Jack here for this one too, or just the other one?
No, he's just here for the other ones.
Just for the driveway.
One for the neighbor, the
Yeah.
curb cut, the neighbor's curb cut.
Pretty straightforward, knocking down the house, building a new house. It was put forth by Andy Somalides at Lantec. Good? You want to make a motion to approve as submitted? Adam makes a motion, looking for a second. Jamie's in a game. Jamie makes a second. All in favor?
Yep, I'm fine with that one.
6-0. Get on.
I
Keep it
believe
going.
Mike and Amy were absent for that.
They watched it on TV.
I
You
did,
watch
yep.
the video?
Yep.
Okay.
You're part of the
Reviewed all the
deliberation.
files, yep.
They
Okay.
made me watch it, Fred.
Yeah, we did, yeah. We shamed him into it.
Come over to your house.
Called. Remember the hearing before, we couldn't hear any of it because I didn't watch the video.
That's right.
Oh, you did, bad boy. All right, next item on the agenda is coastal site plan review number 381, flood damage prevention application number 446, PL 24-85, 0 LNPR LLC, 4 Great Island Road. Proposal to renovate the existing residential structure on the property, remove several accessory structures, and to construct residential additions at the basement level, including an attached garage and terraces, construct a new pool, water feature, courtyard, new access ways, retaining walls, and landscape improvements, and perform related site development activities within regulated areas. The hearing closed on June 25th, 2024, and decision deadline is August 28th, 2024. Are you in on this one, Amy, or Adam?
I am. This one is
You're in
not
on this
part
one.
of the Great Island Association, and you can see how it's warned in the application. It's not listed as a co-applicant.
Yep. I
The
remember
next
that.
one is, and I will be recused on that one.
Okay, so this one is the barn that they have it as a residential structure. They're gonna make it into a 3-bedroom, 20,000 square foot house, if I was staying corrected. And most of it is grading and site work that's to the left and right, adding driveways and lower level spaces. The cut and fill the cut and fill differential is kind of de minimis. And because it's a 6-acre piece of dirt, they have a lot of room to move around. Any questions, comments, typos, scrivener's errors on this one?
The only thing that I mentioned before is that, you know, to make sure it was clear that if any use that was outside of a residential, single family, that would come before us under a special permit.
So that's events, that's events.
Yeah, like if there's any, they wanna host,
A wedding for your
a
daughter.
or, just start using it as an event space, that's not consistent with the zone. I don't know if that needs to actually be highlighted, or that's just a matter of course, because that's our regulations, and it'll be picked up in our regulations, but that is,
What do you think, Fred? You want to add that to specifically do it?
I mean, I don't know if it's belt and suspenders, if it needs to, I'm just saying,
I mean, you're allowed to have they're allowed to have his daughter's wedding there, whoever owns it.
of course, but if it's
But you
starting
can't
to
have
be
my
used
daughter's
as,
wedding
a for-profit event space,
Well, I
that
wouldn't
would
even
not be
say-
consistent with the zone that it's in.
I wouldn't even say for-profit, even
Or,
nonprofit.
yeah, like,
I mean, the
like a
Mather Center's
DCA, like it
nonprofit.
turned into like some type of DCA, that's not consistent with, single family residential.
That's not what they're asking for.
No, not currently, no.
Correct, yeah, that's not what they're asking for, and just, as Amy notes, just as any other single-family property, would need to, seek permission to operate outside the confines of the single-family home.
Then
This-
I'm
this,
fine if that's just,
This would be
it
no
would be
different.
catch, it would be part of our normal regulations and we don't need to add it.
Okay,
I'm fine.
that's fine. No one, any typos or anything on this one? Anything from you guys? Good. George?
Yeah, I'm okay. I was glad to see the specific statement that this structure existed before the zoning regulations existed, so it's legally non-conforming.
Right, that's, I think on page 2, number 2, at the public hearing, it was noted that the existing residential structure, sometimes referred to as quote-unquote "the barn," was constructed prior to the establishment of Darien zoning regulations in Darien. The existing structure exceeds the building height maximums. The applicant has designed the project so as not to increase that non-conformity.
No, I'm
Yeah,
sure,
that's good.
I mean, it's wonderful that they're saving that. I
Great.
mean, I
Okay.
think 10 out of 10 people would applaud that, for sure.
Motion to approve as submitted. Adam makes a motion, Jamie's still in the game, makes a second, all in favor? I gotta get you in the game. 6-0, fully approved. All right, that's this one, right? That one, okay. Next item on the agenda is coastal site plan review number 380, PL 24-58, 0 LNP R LLC, Great Island Property Owners Association, 0 Long Neck Point Road, and Open Space B. Proposal to implement various screening improvements along the boundaries of 0 Long Neck Point Road and Open Space B properties and perform related site development activities within a regulated area. These improvements consist of stone wall, perimeter fencing, and planting of trees, shrubs, and grasses to distinguish between the public property of Great Island and the private property of 0 Long Neck Point Road. Public hearing closed on June 25th, 2024. Decision deadline is August 28th, 2024. And Mrs. Barsanti, I think you're recusing
Yep.
from this. You're welcome to stay
Recuse myself.
exactly where you
Yep.
said. You don't need to move anywhere at all. In our packet, we got a draft resolution stating what they want to do. It's really most of it's site work and screening. I don't think there was a lot of cut and fill in this at all. They had a good landscape architect, Wes Stout and Associates, did a lot of the planting of screenings. He is a frequent flyer here in town. He knows how the town operates. We also did discuss some of the heights of some of the trees. We're not putting any limits on that. That was one of George's comments a little bit. They're gonna
Regarding
grow
the
to
heights
whatever
of
they grow to.
trees?
We
Well,
don't-
more of interest to me was the height of shrubs or bushes
Right, that's
below
what I
the
meant.
trees, but I don't think we need any more specificity than that.
Okay. Any typos, scrivener's errors on this one? Anyone caught?
I'll just note, we also included the curb cuts as part E of the finding. That was a big deal with this, that they will put them on and then they'll put them on the site plan and then they'll be required within 3 years. Point E.
Point E to Edward, thanks, buddy. Yeah, that's it, highlighted in yellow. Did they submit a new plan with those curb cuts yet?
No, they did not.
All right. So this is, eventually they're submitted, but we're gonna approve this anyway, right?
Correct, that'll be a condition of the approval. is
What
that-
happens if they don't install them in 3 years?
Then they go
Curb
away.
cuts.
They go away.
About all the trees.
Come back.
They
Yeah,
gotta
they'll
come
have to
back.
return to the commission.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they wanted the town to put the curb cuts on there and the town to install them, but the idea is not to do it. And if they don't do it within 3 years, it just go away.
Did 3 years come from staff? Or I don't remember discussing.
I don't remember discussing that either, but it sounds like a good time frame.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just curious, or did the property owner suggest it?
No, it was not suggested by the property owner. It was just based on some internal discussions
Yeah,
that 3
okay.
years seemed like a reasonable time frame to
Yep.
install the curb cuts.
Fantastic, okay. Looking for a motion to approve as submitted. Mike makes the motion.
Oh, yeah. Can I second that, please?
George makes the second. All in favor? 6-0.
Well, I'm abstaining.
5? Oh, you're out, I'm sorry.
Abstention.
5-0 and 1 abstention. All right, next item on the agenda, special permit application number 261 Season Charlie, PL 24-88, 77 PBR Darien LLC, Inspire Train Fit LLC at 770 Boston Post Road, proposed to establish a new 500 square foot wellness center in a portion of the first phase property formerly occupied by Allstate Insurance Company. The hearing closed on July 9th, 2024. I did not see this,
Neither did I.
this one. But we have 4 people that did?
Yep.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Want me to take it over here?
Yep, go right ahead, brother.
Sure, so this was another limited use tenant in that same building where we've seen a number of commercial special permits. It was by appointment only. It was pretty straightforward. The parking is not a problem. We had some concerns overall about potentially the next application from somebody else in this building with parking, but none that affects this, so it would be fine. There's no walk-ins accepted. It's by appointment only to the applicant's business. And then I will just say, I believe in section F, we noted that the property owner we were requiring the property owner to stripe the on-site parking spaces to clearly delineate them so that everybody's aware of where the parking actually is in the back.
Do we know how many spaces we'll have once that is done?
It's estimated 7 to 8.
Yeah, I believe it's,
That's after being striped?
yeah,
Okay.
in the range of about 7,
Okay.
yeah, like Mike said, 7 to 8 spaces.
I wasn't sure if that was before or after
Including,
that. Okay.
including a garage space at the side of the building.
Okay.
But other than that, it was pretty straightforward. It's a small, commercial use in a building. So
I just want to make sure that we're not tying the operator's hands on what the landlord is supposed to do with striping. I don't want her not to be able to continue and move on with her business plans if the landlord is delayed in getting this parking striped.
That's a great point.
For 5 months, that's
Because
not
the
right.
the applicant is the tenant,
Yes,
right? The tenant
Yeah.
can't be required to
Yeah.
put something on the landlord's property.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't want to put her in a bind.
we want to straighten that out.
That she can't,
Commission suggests.
yeah,
We can
amend-
I won't want to see it as a requirement,
Yeah,
yeah.
because she technically wouldn't get her
Yeah.
her
So we
building
just,
permit.
so I'll just, we'll amend point F to say the commission suggests instead of the commission requires.
This way she gets that ownership,
Yeah, because that's out of her hands.
that ownership requires,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Yeah, so the commission suggests that the property owner stripe, and then that's not a requirement.
Okay,
Okay.
that was mine.
So
Good catch, James.
any other
You're out of
comments?
business.
Yep.
Do I have a motion to approve as amended? Amy makes the motion, Jay makes second. 4-0. Out of business. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
You just saved your money.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Very cool. The next one is, I'll read into record, but I'm recused on this
You
one.
want me to read it? Okay.
I'll read it and then I'm gonna walk away.
Okay.
Proposed amendment to the Darien zoning map COZM number 1-2024. Proposed amendment to the Darien zoning regulations COZR number 3-2024 PL 24-57 put forth by TCNE Metro Development, Inc.
Steve, we're just taking this out of order.
What did I
We
do?
had 33 Old Kings Highway South
Yeah.
before this.
Oh, I whiffed, sorry about that. All right,
Now you gotta wait.
sorry about that, I got this, I didn't see, business site plan application number, sorry about that, guys. 302A is an Apple flood damage prevention application number 283A, landfilling and regrading application number 436A, PL 24-82, Corbin Baywater Corbin Partners LLC, 33 Old Kings Highway South. Proposal to create new temporary 25-space parking lot for related site development activities and with a within a regulated area, including installation of lighting and landscaping. The public hearing closed on July 9th, 2024. I was not at this one either, and I really didn't watch it on TV.
Confess the same.
And you confess the same. We're together.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All
Okay,
right.
can we take
Go
it
ahead,
over?
take it over, brother.
Okay, so for the four of us who were here, this was an amendment to the application to install a parking lot right where that sort of, we'll call it sort of vegetable garden, natural flower place that's run by the head of our EPC.
Wouldn't say that.
So we're mowing that down for a parking lot. The parking lot is to accommodate a tenant. Mr. Genovese is moving his office somewhere else so that a future tenant of Corbin Phase 2 will be able to attend there, which we now know is the McKinsey Consulting Company. So it'll be great to have them in town. The overflow parking is pretty straightforward. He's utilizing the lights that are already there, so no new lights are in place. This parking lot will be removed once the buildings that the tenant will eventually move into are ready. So it's not a permanent parking lot that we'll be adding. It's the same sort of asphalt. It's a pretty straightforward project. So that's basically it.
Yep.
And then it'll be removed and converted back into the dog park.
Into whatever he wants to do. We haven't seen anything yet, but I think the future plan is a potential dog park.
Isn't it part of his application, that's a dog park?
I don't believe the
No.
actual
No.
dog part
We've
part
never
was
seen the
part
dog
of the,
park
part
yet.
of the previous application.
We've seen- that was-
It's been
that
mentioned
was a memo.
before,
Yeah.
and
Remember the time we had
if you
9
were
things
to propose that in the
Yeah,
future,
you tried to
it would
squeeze it
need to
in
come
one
back
night.
before the
Said no.
commission for
Yeah.
review and action.
Yeah,
Any typos, scribblers, errors on this one? Anybody caught?
no,
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
we're good.
Take
All right, a
discussion.
motion to,
Any discussion?
huh?
Questions? Any discussion?
Anything?
The only thing is, should we mention dog park in here if we don't know that it's going to be?
Is it in there?
It is.
Yeah.
Where?
It is, I saw that too as well, Jamie.
Sorry, I had it just a second ago. Letter E.
Letter E.
Or become a dog
Or become a dog park.
If Madison said it, then it's okay.
Why don't we just?
Or, it's an or,
Yeah.
Okay.
but does that imply?
Yeah, why don't we just
approval?
strike that? Why don't we say it will be
If it's-
returned
If
to?
it doesn't have approval, we should probably strike that,
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
let's amend that to say, at that time, it will be returned to its original state.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
You can't say
We
that.
don't really,
Don't they have to
But
go back
did-
to, don't they have to go back to Fresh Meadow?
Did,
Or-
You're
no,
not participating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, why don't we just strike that whole sentence?
They didn't vote, I think.
Yeah, so let's just strike that whole sentence. Easy.
yeah, I think just
Yep.
saying that it will
Yeah.
no
Just say-
longer be a
That'll-
parking lot.
We don't, yeah, we'll say with expected
Yep.
removal and late.
No, it's fine. It goes on to say there's no requirement to remove the landscaping or the fencing or lighting on a curb cut. So they can maintain it. He just represented that they were going to possibly make it back into a parking lot or something else.
Shouldn't that?
Excuse me, a dog park or something else.
If it's a fact that Madison said, it's a fact.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just an applicant statement. It's not a requirement of ours.
Do we want to leave
that's
it
not
in?
under the, a requirement section.
Yeah,
Yeah,
should-
you're right, this is just a statement. It's his statement, you're right. It's based on his statement. Okay, I'm fine with leaving it in,
I just-
because it's representing that it's Mr. Maslin's statement.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Do I have a motion to approve? Amy makes a motion,
I'm just saying.
Mike makes a second, all those in favor? 4-0.
2 abstentions.
2 abstentions. And the parking lot can be finished. You guys are totally done.
Okay.
The next time on the agenda, try this
It
again.
is, they had bars in last night.
Proposed amendment to the zoning, to the Darien zoning map, COZM number 1-2024. Proposed amendments to the Darien zoning regulations, COZR number 3, 2024. PL 24 dash PL-24-57 put forth by TCNE Metro Development, Inc. The proposal to amend the Darien zoning map to apply the designed office multifamily residential overlay zone, DOMR, to number 16, number 22, and number 1 Thorndale Circle, Darien, Connecticut. Assessors map number 39, lots 11, 17B, and 18. Said property is currently located within designed office zone, DO, containing approximately 8.7 acres in a lot and generally located on the north of Hecker Avenue and the Boston Post Road, south of Interstate 95. The properties are commonly known as 1, 16, 20, 22, and 28 Thorndale Circle. Proposal to amend section 465 of the Darien zoning regulations to allow the Planning and Zoning Commission to reduce or waive applicable rear yard zoning setbacks and allow freestanding parking garage to serve multifamily dwellings within the designed office multifamily residential overlay zone, DOMR, both under specific circumstances. The map and the full text of proposed amendments are on file and available in the town clerk's office and the Darien Planning and Zoning Office for inspection and online at dariencT.viewpointcloud.com. You're missing a dot there. As PL number 24-57. The public hearing closed on July 9th, 2024. I am recused from this thing, so I'm going to step away, and I was also not at the meeting.
Yeah, I'm recused as well.
Okay.
We have to step away? We haven't stepped away for anything else.
Yeah, I know, but you're allowed to. I
Oh,
don't think
you
I'm
want
walking
to?
till my water.
Oh, all right.
Steve's just stretching
Because
his
there's
legs.
a whole bunch of people staring right at us. I don't see what's
Walking
going
around a
on.
lot today.
Okay, so I will take over. This is a two-part application, as Steve mentioned in reading the public notice. The first is to apply the DOMR overlay to the specific zone, and then the second is the text amendment change of 465. So we'll start with the first one, the DOMR application. This is something we've done before over at the Parklands, Three Parklands property. It's a broadly similar type of ask here, which is changing a former, call it office park use into residential use, which is the purpose of creating the overlay zone. So I think that applying it in this case absolutely makes sense. It's exactly what it was intended to do when we created it in 2021. So does anybody, we'll tackle it in two parts. Does anybody have any issues or concerns, questions about the application of the DOMR to this overlay zone? Amy?
No, I'm looking at it, and I just wanted to, make sure some of the wording was such that, it's clear that, future detailing around traffic studies and other, drainage studies, et cetera, those are obviously dependent upon future application for the site development, that this is just the overlay
That's correct.
application.
This
So-
application is not addressing what the usage will
Although
be.
the applicant has given us sense of, that water permitting will be sufficient and serve, and, sewage it will be sufficient, and traffic, broad strokes, it is not a substitute of what the requirements will be for them going forward.
Correct.
So I just want to assure any public that will be fully vetted. Yeah.
Correct. We'll see potentially another application with regards to the use of the site plan in the DOMR. They have gone before other boards in town already, although they have not come before us yet, since this is sort of a priori requirement before that application. So when that comes, that application will have the required, traffic studies, all kinds of, everything else that we normally would see in a development. So, Mike?
I can't think of a better spot.
June? Okay, so that bit of it, and now going on to the second bit, which is the the text amendment change to number 465 in the regulations, which is at the end of the packet, which is basically adding in sections C and D. So this gives us the ability,
Yep.
but not the as of right,
Yep.
to reduce or waive rear yard setbacks as it for properties that are adjacent to Connecticut Turnpike I-95 and other properties within the zone. And then it also gives us the ability to approve freestanding parking garages to serve, as provided any such garages be located behind a principal building or structure and along the rear yard adjacent to the Connecticut I-95 right-of-way. We also heard, so it's important to understand that this does not grant any rights in the DOMR zone. It merely gives us as a commission the ability to waive certain regulations. And we also heard from the applicant at the time, other potential areas in town where these may apply towards. And it's an extremely narrow window of potential properties that this would impact. And again, it doesn't give anyone a right to do anything. It just allows us to be able to waive them should we want to. So I think these as drafted are correct. It was brought up a kind of a legality point to make sure the correct term for Connecticut Turnpike I-95 as what the DOT
Yep.
may call the road, instead we just call it 95 or
Yep,
whatever, so
make
I
sure it's
assume
consistent.
that's the right term, right?
The Connecticut Turnpike, is that what you're
Yeah.
referencing?
You know, like if they rename the Merritt Parkway for some reason to
Yeah.
Lamont Parkway for
I mean, we can,
some reason,
you know,
and it's in our
certainly-
regulations that it's something else, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we could, you know, slash I-95.
Yeah, which we have in
Yeah,
there, so I
which
think
is
it's
in
fine.
there,
Should we
yeah.
say, call it Interstate
Yeah.
95, or doesn't matter?
I-95, yep.
Okay. So do the commission have any further comments, questions? It's pretty straightforward. Jamie, Mike?
I'm good.
Okay, then, would anybody like to make a motion to approve both the DOMR application and the amendments to 460? Mike makes a motion. Amy makes a second. All those in favor?
Yep.
4-0. Got your overlay.
Thank you.
Got your amendment change.
You missed me pouring my drink over your head.
Oh, well.
With Lamont Parkway.
Oh, yeah. I knew you'd like that. You never know. Thanks, guys.
Is Steve come back in?
See you.
I can keep the meeting moving.
Yeah, keep going.
See you, Jer.
Okay, so that is the end. Oh, there he is.
Back to you in the booth.
Minutes.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Next item on the agenda is approval of minutes. We have 3 sets of minutes to do, which is June 25th, July 9th, and July 16th. Let's start them in age order. Where is it? June 25th.
Mike and Amy around.
Lavani, Adam,
How's that?
George, and Jamie. And I guess George, I'm sorry, Amy was in Nantucket probably?
No, I was,
Oh, you were in
I
Europe.
was,
right?
I was
There you go.
not here.
There you go, good for you. Typos, scrivener's errors in this one. It was Great Islands application, or the public hearing on that. I thought you were there for that, Amy, no? No, that was the second one. That was with regards to that, then we went to both of those items. We talked about Tokenique Trail, which we just approved tonight, then we had a general meeting. And talked about, that was the marijuana night, that we went through that whole thing. And then had the approval for the cannabis establishments, that's a resolution, we can't change that. Then we had another resolution put forth for the P and Z to create, the part about not putting the, gas tanks above ground in front of people's houses. And then Mr. Label's house, and I think that's about it. Any items to edit on this one? Okay, looking for a motion to approve as submitted. Who can make the motion? Adam can make the motion. Looking for a second from Jamie. Jamie makes a second. All in favor? There we go. 4-0. Done. Great. Next one coming up is, where's my number? Next one.
This one was, you were out on this one.
July, why don't you go through that one then for me?
All right, so July 9th, this was me, Jamie, Amy, and Mike. This was the first because this is when we heard the application for the DOMR and the text amendment change. So I guess Steve and George had recused themselves from this one. So we heard the public hearing about the DOMR changes and the text amendment. We also heard from a number of public comment about the traffic sort of in that scenario, which is why we sort of have tried to stress that a future application will come before us regarding what will be used, and that's when we can address all those things. We also saw the parking lot for Baywater, which is pretty straightforward. We saw the initial application for the Inspire Train Fit, which we also just approved. In the general meeting, we took a look at some small stuff, dock, and then we took a look at some deliberations on Great Island, but we ended up kind of punting a couple of those, so we didn't do too much work there. We looked at sort of everything else, and then did a little bit of deliberations on the zoning changes, since the four of us are going to be the ones who were here that saw it. So we did had public staff draft approval, which we did tonight. We postponed the minutes, no chairman's report, and then Mr. Ginsburg gave us a quick update on the ADUs. Pretty straightforward meeting. Mostly it was the DOMR zone. So any typos, errors? Good.
Good.
Text, all right. Do I have a proposal to approve? Jamie? Amy makes a second?
Yep.
All those in favor? 4-0. Minutes done.
Fantastic. Next minutes on there are going to be July 16th. Any typos, scrivener's errors on this one? Let me know. There was the car wash. We talked about that. The car wash is still coming back to us again, right?
Yep.
Correct, yep.
September.
Yep.
We have some work to
I
do on
believe the
that.
commission continued that to September 10th, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
September 10th.
We gave an extension to 3 Parklands since the property sold.
Yep.
Got it here.
Yep, we talked about Brush Island. There's a resolution on that. 19 Brush Island. I think, is that really
That
it?
was it.
Short meeting, right? A couple other things. We did the Tokenique Trail. We talked about Great Island, the 2 Great Island applications. Chairman report, I want to follow up on today, and then approval minutes were punted. Looking for motion to approve as submitted. Mike makes a motion, Amy makes a second, all in favor? There we go, that's everybody, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bingo, okay. Next item on here, chairman's report. The big thing I wanted to announce at the chairman's report is Avalon did close for sale last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, on the 19th. The brokerage firm made the announcement that it sold for $120 million, which is a huge number for tax recording for the town of Darien. It was purchased by a company called AEW, which is a pension fund advisor out of Boston, big institutional owner, and it's very nice to see that another well-capitalized institutional owner is investing in our small little town. I think that's going to be great. The plans that they have for it is just really to keep, from what I understand so far, is really just to keep it the same and do some upgrades, ability to further upgrade the units in the property. I think it's just a great thing for the town that people still think our town's doing well. It is one of the largest taxpayers in the town.
You just don't see apartments that size anymore.
They're too big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you're out there and the things that we're seeing, it's hard to find decent sized apartments.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 bedrooms that offer that much space.
Yeah. So the only thing I would just keep an eye on this thing as it goes further. There was some discussion at one point in life that there was excess land there, which was deemed by a bunch of people that's not ever buildable, because it doesn't have any sewer capacity, but there was a piece of land there. But I think it's just gonna stay exactly where it is. And the reason why Avalon sells it, somebody asked me this today, Avalon as a company, they usually hold, in their filings, they say that most of their properties are less than 15 years old. This one's older than 15 years, so what they do is they sell it, they repatriate the money, and they build something new. There's other companies like Elcor does the same thing, they like to build stuff. The stuff that's existing in season, then they sell it off and they do it again. So that's my big announcement for the chairman's report. I don't think there's anything else much. We talked about a couple other, the other item was, and I want to look into a little bit, is Chilton, who is next door to the boathouse, appealed the decision by the Planning and Zoning Commission of Stanford. Because they're property next door, they're an intervener. I'm 99.9% sure it's the same process that we have in Darien. So for argument's sake, when 3 Parklands was, the neighbors complained and intervened, it basically puts them into the court system. And so that can delay the whole thing for upwards of a year, because it gets appealed. My understanding, and it's not 100% true, is that there's 5 licenses in the city of Stanford, and there's a waiting list for who gets them. So whoever gets their application approved gets the last license. I think there's 3 given out already. One's by my house in Research Park. I think there's one. There's one that's on Cureleaf, that's right on East Main. That's owned by Ferrari. Then there's another one up on High Ridge Road. So there's 2 out there left. I think one was supposed to go on the west side, and then there's this one, which is on the east side. So it may or may not get built. Don't know, but it's something that I think we should be aware of. There are other people that do want to buy that building and keep it as a restaurant. So we'll see what happens. So those are my 2 big things. Any questions for me on anything that might be going on that I've said or done? No? Okay. With that said or not said, we have no meetings in the month of September. I mean, the month of August. Our first meeting is the Tuesday after Labor Day, which is September 3rd. And then we have another one on September 10th, which is a week later. Any major stuff? The car wash is coming back on one of them, right? The 10th, maybe?
Car wash is the 10th. We still have applications trickling in for the public hearing that's scheduled for later in September. We continued a number of hearings this evening to either September 3rd or 10th. That was the Tesla application, as well as 25 Greenleaf and the dock at 10 Nickerson.
Okay.
And then there'll be some other miscellaneous things that, between now and, the next few weeks, we'll work on finalizing.
Did we close out everything that you wanted us to close out before
Yes.
vacation?
Yep.
So you're all cool.
Yeah, we're all set.
So we come back in September, we're gonna kind of sort of start fresh.
Exactly.
Fantastic. That's what it is,
Basically
man.
cleaned the slate and, we can start fresh in September.
Great. Any other business?
Nope.
Fantastic. With that said, motion to close? Jamie makes the motion to close. Mike makes the second. Wow. All in favor?
It's 5 to 1.
5 to 6-0.